Shout out, bro.
Shout out to Big Bro and them.
What's up, guys? This is the Bluebridge Podcast. Um, this is Deck. I'm Deck, DG, and we want to say this episode 10. That's what my gut's telling me. It might be 9. I think it's 10.
No,
Either way,
we're on time.
huh? Are we on 10?
Yeah, we're on time.
I think we're on 10. Today we're going to be discussing the post game of the Vikings, of course, and the lead up that we're about to face the Browns. We really wanted this week, since we had a bye week, we
I'll be
wanted
here live.
we wanted to have like an earlier video and then drop it like probably before today, honestly. But I've been in a little funk, so that's fine. We're gonna get hopefully back to that. Like try to get an earlier schedule. Also, my eyes going right now. I got a blood vessel messed up, so if that's taking your attention, my apologies. I look wild, but yeah. Um, I guess we could just recap the Vikings game
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
Me and DG had a pretty long phone conversation after the game, and I guess we had different opinions somewhat, which kind of changed since that
Yeah.
time's passed.
You want to start with your opinion?
Either way,
All right. Let's start with mine.
yeah,
Um, I was happy, which I think a lot of Steeler fans were happy, but I was happy about it. I think for the whole game, except for probably the last 9 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever the case, I think we was in full control of the game. I believe, we played in all phases, special teams, defense, offense was probably the most complimentary we looked in, I say, some years. Maybe I think last year we again when we played the Jets and whatnot, Russ looked pretty decent. We had a pretty good game, but with the fact of us, being in Ireland, it's easy to let things distract you, and I think we came prepared, ready to play, and it was refreshing. It was refreshing to see players make big plays that we expect to make big plays. So I don't want to get too in depth. Of course, that was what almost about 2 weeks ago. But yeah, for overall, my take from it, our D line played very well. Um, I feel like our zone was a little bit tighter. Not as many big plays across the field. Shout out to Deshaun Elliott coming back. Obviously, that was a big help for us. Gainwell looked very good. Looked like he could start on a lot of teams. I mean, I don't want to run away with it, but he does have a subtleness to when he gets the ball to where like I like his running style. I'll just leave it there. I don't want to get too crazy, but I like his running style compared with Jalen Warren. I feel like Jalen Warren is more like straight downhill, get the yardage, and a lot of times he will have a big play a game. With Gainwell, I just think he's more subtle in his approach. Like he lets blocks develop a little bit more
he's
and
patient for sure. Yeah.
definitely patient. So that's my take on the Vikings game. I'm sure I might have put some more of my thoughts in there as we go back and forth a little bit, but
Yeah.
those are my initial takes on the game.
Um, Overall, now that I've had some time, I am pleased because I mean it's hard to win in this league. That was also one of the things I went against too. But I will say it is true. It's hard to win in this league. First thing that pops off my head, I'll go through many takes. Brian Flores is a great defensive coordinator. Being able to outplay him, our offense did pretty well. Of course, that's huge. That was probably the biggest matchup in my head. Our offense versus a guy like that I think is somewhat a genius. Honestly, I think he's a very good mind. Um, Kenneth Gainwell that he brought up, I love his patience. I love that he showed that he's RB1B. Honestly, in my opinion, I think you see James go down or vice versa, we're gonna be good. We're gonna be afloat. In that room, I also want to see KJ get more reps. I think it's a good thing to have a guy like that get reps now. So down the line, we can have a little bit more insurance as well as see what you have out of the rookie. Third round's a high thing. I mean, people were speculating we might trade Fireman for a third round right now,
Yeah.
which I don't even get into that. I'm actually in favor
We
of that right
can
now,
get
but
we could get into that later for
later,
sure
yeah,
because
yeah,
that is something that I've been seeing on the internet.
yeah, and I'm not against it. But Yeah, Vikings game. So I was happy with what we did, but the main thing that ruined my whole vibe was the end of the game. I thought the fact that we let them catch up and almost show us a Tomlin game, which that wouldn't even be a Tomlin game because that's the thing. We won against a really good team in Minnesota, which really good might be a stretch once it gets into the season because I think once they go through the average thing that teams go through, they get kind of beaten down throughout the season. I don't think they're I don't think Sam Darnold is, oh, not Sam Darnold. I'm tripping. Carson Wentz, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Carson Wentz is, I think he's a shell. He's a good guy, like he's a good plug-in guy, but I just don't think that's what's going to take him to the next level. And I think McCarthy, he's hurt, but I think even if he wasn't, he's a rook and basically a rook, and he wouldn't do too much to take him to the next level. If I were them, I'd honestly try to trade. But either way, good team nonetheless. They still have a good offensive approach, and they still have great receivers, of course, and they have a good defense. So it was a good win overall. I just didn't like that we let them back into it, and it kind of just we win the games we're not supposed to. Or there's a lot of seasons as Steelers we've won against good teams that we're not technically supposed to, which I want to say Vikings was one of those. I had us. It was in the middle for us.
Yeah.
Um, I think I predicted we might lose last week. I forget, and then um, when it comes to like the bad teams we're not supposed to lose to, we will. So I'm in the middle, but I will say the way it looked, and that's what D was kind of getting at. The way it looked in the beginning, at least, when we weren't giving up big plays, it was a lot fresher. You saw the middle of the field being taken care of on defensively, and then you saw the middle of the field being hit, which I still think we're not hitting the middle of the field enough. I mean, I feel the person I feel the most bad for on our team right now is Jonnu Smith. Oh my God, hold up. It's gonna start another one.
We could probably just combine the two, right?
Yeah, we're gonna combine the two, but I just have to find something to get rid of. Like, it doesn't make sense that there's no. I mean, YouTube would be good to get rid of, but then I can't upload this properly how I want to. I could, technically. It's fine. Find ways around it. That's just crazy, bro. Craziness. All right, Nick, hopefully you can hear us to get back into it. I think I was just referring to like the way we won. It looked pretty good, Vikings wise. The way we won was pretty good. Um, but yeah, hitting the middle of the field. Jonnu Smith, I was just bringing him up. I guess now I'm getting out of the Vikings game a little bit. We could just leave it there pretty much and just get into topics. Jonnu Smith's being underutilized really badly. He was a Pro Bowl player last year, and I think he's got like only screens for targets. Just stupid. Why are we not running this guy digs across the field? Why are we not just getting him ball in space? Like he's a yak guy. He's an athletic freak. I don't know if it's because of how much distribution they have going on. Like they think they have to get it here, there, everywhere. Um, and if that's the case, like we were just saying earlier, I'm down to trade Firemouth at this point just because of, oh my God, we might have an audio app, bro.
That's all right. We do that too.
It's an audio app, guys, most likely because my camera doesn't have the SIM card in it and this iPad is stupid. We'll try to not make it too long, I guess.
That's fine. We still gonna get our points and talk.
It's fine, yeah. I'm trying to put the beginning on it,
No
maybe.
big deal.
But yeah, guys, this is what was I talking about? My bad.
We hopped into saying how we
No.
underutilized John.
Yeah, that and trading Firemouth. I'm down to trade Firemouth just because I look at the team as a whole. Like I think as a Steeler fan, I fall in love with like every guy we draft because that's just a Steeler like culture. Like if we got a guy and he's a Steeler, that's our guy, you know. And I think he's done a good amount for us. But I mean, shoot, the two guys that we saw getting the throwbacks this year that did the photo shoot, I'm ready to ship out, bro. And it's not because they're bad players, it's just because we have players at those positions that are playing either at a higher level or equal level. I mean, Herbig is the biggest yes from last game I got. I think he put himself in a position where taking him out would be stupid. He might be our best player.
He's like
right now.
It might be a bad analogy, but he's kind of like the I don't know. He's like the girlfriend that just like hasn't done nothing wrong in a relationship, but you still find a way to cheat on because there's someone else down the line that you look at like you're like, you know what I mean? he kind of
Talking
falls.
about Highsmith?
Yeah, like Highsmith, like his play is not the reason why we want to get rid of him, right? Like he's productive when he's in there. It's just what we see from Herbig, right? Like I mean,
Herbert's a baddie.
if we, from analogy wise, yes, because
Baddie.
we gotta look at it like that though, because
Well,
it's
big
like
shit.
Herbig.
I'm playing.
But no, I mean I think Herbig he steps up and he makes bigger splash plays than Highsmith. Even though Highsmith will make some splash plays, um, I like Herbig. I think even when Highsmith comes back, we should still give Herbig the opportunity to see if he could take over that spot. But with that being said, I mean Highsmith he brings value, so we could get someone for him. We could get someone from Fireman because another thing for Fireman, I think is just he's not getting the opportunities that he needs within our offense. I think Dak makes a good point saying we need to get John the ball more.
Mhm.
I do want to say like it's tough. It's tougher because you know when he was with Miami, he was the only tight end in the room that was worth getting the ball to when they got rid of Gesicki. So being on our team is going to be a tight end room by committee. It's going to be more distribution to different players. I do think with players like him, DK, who just have a physical advantage compared to other players, you do have to find a way to get them balls because it's not even just the fact that you could give DK a screen, you could give John a screen,
Yeah.
you could give them any type of anything, and they're more than likely to get some yak out of it. So those are the guys you need to get the ball because it's almost like what they say. Sometimes screw the X's and O's, give it to the Jens and the Joes, wherever
Yeah.
the case. Like you just gotta get your playmakers the ball, and we kind of did that last game though, in a sense. So I'm not totally mad on it. Yeah, we leaned on the run game because Minnesota couldn't stop us in the run game. So I understand why we leaned on it more in the second half because in the second half it becomes the game within the game. You're trying to use as much time on possessions, limit the other team's chances of possessions, especially when you go up with a 3-score lead or whatever the case was. You're going to be more protective of the lead. Deck made a point when we was on the phone saying like, the Chiefs, Baltimore, teams like that, they like to close teams out, and I agree. But you know what? When you have Lamar, you could take a little bit more risk. When you have Pat Mahomes, you could take a little bit more risk when you're up starting score. But I think we just leaned on the strength of our team, and that was us playing good defense and us having a run game in the second half. I think if push came to shove and we had to use our playmakers more, you would have seen DK in the mix more in the second half and not get 2 targets in the second half. Same with John same with maybe even Fire Move. If we needed him more, it was one of those games for Fire Move where it was more of a physical matchup going against a Brian Flores defense, and I think they just understood. Thomas said it himself. Had a It's hard to have a 250-pound tight end out there moving guys. So, and I agree in a sense. I think
Football sometimes.
yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to a mindset thing, but that's something I brought up in the past with Fire Move. He's not the most physical person, but he's one of those guys I'll definitely root for if we was to get rid of him
He would do
because
well.
yeah, I know he would do well, and it's really about the way we play football that's not really fitting what he could bring to a team.
And not even just him too. Like the way I look at it right now, ever since AB left, you got some guys I could accept in the convo, like some receivers that put up numbers. Of course, George is over there wigging on the Cowboys, and he actually put up good numbers if you look into the fact that he didn't have a reliable quarterback. But what I'm getting at is, I mean, DK and Johnny are probably feeling it right now the most. It's like this isn't a stat team on offense. Like you're not coming here to like go crazy on stats. Like in my opinion, that it depends on the game, but I just mean throughout a season, our attack isn't going to be aggressive on offense to the point where you're just stat padding. I'm not saying stat padding should be what you're in it for. I just think of like if you're going to play with Mahomes, of course he's the best in the league, so that's a bad example. But even if you're just going in a certain style offense, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's certain style of like the Rams, like places like that. You got Puka over there, like he's getting his bag like every game pretty much. Like
Yeah.
so DK as one of the most explosive players in the league. That money talked to him, but
Like,
Yeah.
I just think he's not going to have as many. Like, if he was on a different team right now, he would already have like a bunch on
100%. Yeah,
offense.
especially teams that rely less on the system and more on individual players. I mean, even with the Vikings, like you see it, they have good individual pieces. Like you look at Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, and them. They got one of the better receiving cores, but that doesn't always translate to winning.
No, but
Another
they've made
thing
it
that we got
further
to
than
look
this
at,
each year for past couple.
they get bounced in the first round every year. They're pretty much the NFC version of us, if I'm being honest. Like as of recent,
I thought they won last year.
no, they
no.
they might have went to the second round. No, I'm pretty sure they got bounced. I think they might have got a bye and got bounced. I don't know.
Yeah.
Regardless of the case, they don't really perform in the playoffs. I'm not gonna say that. Well, I did want to make a point and say we do have a whole bunch of new guys. It's gonna take some time to see A Rod's connection heat up with his receivers, but I think you're seeing it. I think each game we've seen and go look at the teams we played. The Patriots, they're not no slouch. They just beat the Bills.
Yeah, no, the pictures.
The Seahawks, they're a tough team. Like those are teams you're looking at early in the season, based off of last year. You're like, oh, those are easy wins, right? But this year, I think they're proving to be tough competitors. Even the Jets, yeah, they haven't won a game, but they've been competitive in every game they played.
No, the loss against the Patriots or the win against the Patriots looks a lot better now, and the loss against the Seahawks looks like so much better
Yeah,
now.
100%, and that's where I want to get at. Like, I'm kind of, I think that's why I'm a little bit excited just off of what we've seen because the Vikings, they're 3-2 right now. Um, freaking uh Patriots. I think they have one loss to us. Do they have another loss?
I think they do, but they're still like decent. They're still like a good
Still,
team.
yeah,
I
they're
mean, they just beat
team
the
that
Bills
made
on
yeah team
Monday night.
at the Bills.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
So
Shout out Stephon
yeah,
Diggs.
maybe we probably shouldn't have won that game, but we found a way to win. And I think a dude made a good point that I seen. He was like, these next two games are really telling on what type of team we are because, and people were saying like, what do you mean by that, whatever. But just like in the past, like to Declan's point, he said earlier, we do beat some teams that we probably have no business beating sometimes, right? But then we also have games where we're like, oh yeah, this easy W on the schedule,
Don't get it.
and then we lose. And I think those are two games we have coming up with the Browns and the Bengals where we're looking at, hey, backup quarterbacks, defense seems to be getting in the rhythm, offense seems to be getting in the rhythm. We should win those games pretty easily, right? But in the past, we would drop, maybe go 1 of 2, 0-2 in that scenario. So that's what I'm looking for. Can we dominate these games in a way where we look like we belong? And I think if we do that, that will make me very excited. Because yes, we should beat the Browns without um with a rookie quarterback, and we should dominate the Bengals with no line and Joe Flacco being basically a sitting duck back there. I mean, Joe Burrow, he's mobile, and you see he gets killed with that line. So
Yeah.
we should be able to dominate that game. So we'll see. But those two games will be telling for us.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, two division rivals back to back can be tough regardless of how good they are, but it definitely is going to be telling of where we're at as a team. Also, to address the elephant in the room, of course, you got like Baltimore if they're 1-4, I believe. Bengals are doing bad, of course, without Burrow. Browns, actually, I think are the second best team in the league right now in the conference. I mean, because of their defense is really strong, in my opinion. They have a really good defense. Um, and you got like a rookie. You got Gabriel. I think the Steelers always do well at shutting down rookie quarterbacks, but then again, like rookie quarterbacks, you don't have enough film on them yet. It could definitely, Gabriel could have a game, but overall, all I'm saying is we really are in a great position to win the AFC North, as most people that are really paying attention know. It's early on, Baltimore could have a crazy comeback and Lamar comes back, whatever. But it's very unlikely if we win these two games, and I think that puts us in of course, a huge position to do so. Um, but outside of winning the conference title, I care about it, but I really want a good playoff win. I know it helps our seeding though, so that's why it matters. Browns this week, like I just said, I think they're. Is that cool to hop to that?
Yeah.
Um, Browns have a really good defense. Our offense is going to be tested this week. Broderick Jones, guy like that's going to be super tested. I guess we're going to have to try to hide him the best we can. I'm not saying he hasn't made strides. I just think, a guy like Miles Garrett playing over you the whole game or on the other side, either way, he's going to be moving around. He's Miles Garrett. Is not ideal for him or if I was on him. I mean, it's not ideal for anybody to go against that guy. But either way, it's not just him. I can't think of like hella names right now, but I do know that's a really strong defense right now. They got young guys playing there. Behinds off. You got stuff clicking on that side of the ball, and our offense needs a test like this. Honestly, it's a good time for a good team like that on that side of the ball, at least. And then offensively, I'm not really worried about them. But I mean, Njoku last week had a decent week. Um, you got, I think Gabriel actually threw him a really nice dime in the back of the end zone. Njoku had a good game. I think I forget the other guy's name, but one of their wide receivers had another good game. I don't know about their O line. I don't think it's the greatest, but it's definitely not as bad as the Bengals. Uh, I don't know. Basically, what I'm getting at is this game's going to be classic AFC North ball, in my opinion, because you got two good defenses facing off. The offenses, the exchange on offense, I think, will be similar as much as I want our guys to get more involved. That's my biggest thing with this team right now is defense staying consistent in the middle of the field and not giving up big, huge plays. And then our offense actually looking like a top tier offense because even without GP in the mix at the beginning of the year, you thought of Aaron Rodgers, you thought of DK, you thought of Splash. I need to see more of that, not just with them two. Also, another thing I want to get off my chest. Tomlin said that he looks at Johnu as a just a positionless guy and almost a wide receiver too, possibly. Like could be. He didn't say that verbatim, but if he thinks that, then he needs to have a long, hard conversation with Arthur Smith and make it so those are our two main targets. Not every game. Don't be
You know
predictable,
what?
but yeah.
I agree. I agree with it in a sense. I do. I do agree with you because I feel like that's something we will have to worry about if we don't see more production from those guys. Probably like midway through the season. Right now, it's so early. Like it's like I said before, and I think this is a point that everyone has to take in consideration. Like we have a whole bunch of new guys, and we got guys going in and out of lineup as well. Like we're still trying to figure out our identity, and we're still trying to figure out the things we do good well in our offense. We're still trying to figure out who those
Yeah.
playmakers look like and who they're going to be, right? And you got to kind of give everyone a fair shot at the beginning of the season to see who those guys are going to be. But with last game, I think as a fan base and probably as a coaching staff, um, pretty sure everyone's seeing like who our guys are, right? Um, and we do need to see them get more involved. I'm not. It's so hard, right? Because you look at things and it's like I'm one of those guys, right? If we was in a game where it was like, man, clearly we need Johnu in this game, and we're not using Johnu,
Yeah.
it's going to frustrate me 10 times more than if we have a game under control and it's like we're kind of doing what the defense gives us, right? That's where I'm at when it comes to early in this season. There hasn't necessarily been games where you're like, we need so and so. We don't really know who's going to dominate. I mean, a lot of people probably thought Fireman was going to come in and dominate as a wide. I mean, tight end one. Not me personally, but it's like we,
Fair.
we, we, we don't know who those guys are right now. We're starting to get an idea and figure out as the season goes along. So to Deck's point, if I don't see John New get more involved and I don't see DK continue to be involved in the offense, then you worry. You definitely have to worry a little bit because at the very least, the best players should be getting involved.
Yeah, I'm approaching it with a sense of urgency just because you know how fast the season goes by. That's really what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, no, I mean
The offense
it
needs
goes
to have a
fast,
sense of
but I
urgency.
just mean more from a game by game standpoint, like
Yeah.
how the game's going. Like if we're able to run the ball like that,
Why not keep it?
it
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
Not,
it's like
yeah.
it's hard to be like, yo, we need to get so and so involved, right?
Last game was a bad example because yeah, if you're running the ball well, you should stay on the ground and be less risky. I just know like you got Arthur Smith supposed to be this big play action guy. And when Kenneth Gainwell was getting off like that, like why don't throw like a crazy zipper all the way to a guy that not even I'm talking even to Roman Wilson. Where's he been?
It's that yeah. Well, Roman, I'm actually completely out on him.
He must be
Um,
ass.
yeah, I never was a big believer. I mean, yeah, he made some waves in training camp, but it's not even. It's just he doesn't look like he physically got any better or like I don't see much from him on how he could contribute, and that's just me being honest. He doesn't have top tier speed. Like he doesn't
Mm.
have any elite attributes in my opinion. But yeah, no, I agree with Deck in a sense. I still stick true to what I said though. I believe game to game is what will tell. Like, yo, we need to use so and so more this game. Like, it's last game. It was couldn't really tell at a time where I'm like, yo, I need so and so to touch the ball more. I'm just
No,
being
I
honest.
get
Like
you.
when the team's not giving you that resistance on their offensive end and putting like real game pressure on you, it's hard to navigate certain things when you're in those moments and the team's actually punching you back in the mouth, which the Vikings kind of did at the end. But at that point, obviously, we felt we had the game won.
When we punted at the end, I was thinking make a big play, and we couldn't. That's all.
You said playing,
Yeah, we punted at the end to the Vikings, like pretty
yeah,
close to the end.
right.
And I was like, why don't we make a big play right now? Like, just seal it. You know what I'm
What you
saying?
mean, like a big play?
Like on that third down, like instead of punting the ball away, because it was still close at that point. Like, I'm like, bro.
Time, you're trying to run the time and make sure they have as least time
Yeah.
as possible. So
No,
I understand. I understand that it's
I'm just, I guess my mind is really aggressive on offense because what I see around the league, like we said earlier. Like, I see a lot.
see, and that's kind of like we are kind of going into kind of what we talked about on the phone too a little bit, but I think we were aggressive from the points we needed to be aggressive, and that's where I kind of sit with it. Like I just feel like when it came to the times we needed to be aggressive, like we got the ball, we scored one up 7-3, and then off the rip, we throw something across the middle. I look at
Mhm.
that as like, okay, usually in the past, we got the lead. Let's take this to a 10-3 type halftime lead or whatever the case. But I feel like we was pretty aggressive the whole first half, which isn't usual for us. Um, First drive or second drive in the second half, we went down there and scored. I think we left some points on the board too. The missed field goals.
Mhm.
Um, we just we had that game in control the whole time. So it's I like what I seen. It was
Yeah.
clear night and day difference from what we've seen the past 2 years when it comes to fluidity in the offense,
Yeah.
when it comes to continuity through your three phases, your special teams, defense, and offense. I think we definitely seen strides last game against the Vikings.
Your way
Whether
of thinking about it's really good, like football wise, for sure.
yeah, I try not to get too emotional because I understand. I try to understand. Not saying you don't, but I try to understand the circumstances, right? Like, at what circumstance would I feel like, oh, we need it? And towards the end of the game, I'm like, I kind of figured, like, okay, but if we kick that field goal at the end, right, instead of going for it on that fourth and goal, right, and we go up by, I think it would have been 13 points,
Mhm.
instead we gave it away when we had 10, we more than likely kick the ball off, stop them. They don't get that probably that broken coverage play to make the game close, right? And we're probably not even talking about anything down the stretch. So it's the little moments like that where I'm like, yeah, we do need to get better in those moments,
Mhm.
but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna I'm not gonna discredit the whole performance because of the way we played down the stretch. Yeah, we gotta get better. A lot of teams do early in the season, but you
Yeah.
know what? I'm happy with the way we performed throughout the game. And as long as that trajectory continues, then I'll continue to be happy. You might be right. I could be over my head. Next game we could look like how we did against well, that's the thing. Even the Jets, we put up points.
Yeah.
We're
I mean,
scoring in the red zone. That's the thing. That's what I look at. Like
we should have definitely held them to less points, but
I agree. Our defense played bad. Those even the beginning of the season, we made big plays. Like Jalen Ramsey stepped up in big moments. But our defense, they've been playing poor all the way up until last game, right? I feel like our offense is doing what they need to do
yeah.
when it comes to scoring in the red zone. We're one of the best teams in the red zone, scoring touchdowns. I
Mhm.
talked about this probably one of our first episodes. Like that is the most important thing. Can we turn field goals into touchdowns? And we've been doing that. As long as we keep doing that with the defense
It's a
we
big
do
deal.
have, I think at this point we could probably say we expect our defense to get some turnovers. Like it's not an if and but thing at this point. We've seen it for years.
Yeah,
We're
that's the one thing.
opportunistic.
It's the one
If
thing
if
we
one
do
thing
if
you
we
can
aren't
count
doing
on, we're
anything
gonna get
else,
turnovers, right?
which
So
is a headache at times.
it is, it is. But to what I was gonna say, and to end my point and let that carry on, is just that I do believe if we keep doing like we expect us to get turnovers. Now, can we be consistent throughout the game of not just letting teams go down the field and score on us? If we could do that mixed with our opportunistic time, it's going to be hard to beat us. It is. It's going to be hard to beat us because we got weapons. We got the guys. It's just you got to put it all together. But I like the direction we're going in, and I believe that's why I'm gonna leave that at. Um, I do want to get into the Browns, but I want Deck to piggyback if he has anything.
Yeah, I mean, DG's take is really good in terms of like football and like obviously we're coaching that night, last game, or that day I should say, that morning really.
Yeah.
Um, they were coaching, there was a lot of football IQ going on, but I just, as a Steeler fan, I guess I have trauma from the past of like, okay, wins and losses change everything, of course, but if we would have fucking, excuse my language, came up short this game, we would be doing the opposite, of course, which that's why, wins and losses are a big difference, but it's just, I just look at it as this is the same coach that will punt on 4th and 1 instead of going for a tush push or something. It's not banned. I know you voted for it to be banned. Figure out a way to get a tush push going. Put Darnell Washington behind someone and have his big self throw someone over the line. A guy that's not aggressive, a guy that won't even throw slants with, I mean, he hasn't had great quarterbacks, but he won't even throw across the middle of the field because he's so scared to turn the ball over. I just see I just get vibes like we're not going to be as aggressive as we should with our personnel. Now, is that going to carry on? Hopefully not. Are we taking strides? Yes. Our offense is taking strides. And good point made on DG's part because I haven't been as critical this episode of the defense. Just because you did it once don't mean nothing to me yet. I'm the two things. I mean, it's just as an honest Steeler fan, I'm not bought in at all on either side yet. Because defense, we look good one game and then we look like chickens running around with their heads cut off the next game. So what it really comes down to is being sound on defense this week and the next week. If we win a I wouldn't say a shootout, but if we win a close football game, that's expected because it's the AFC North.
Yeah.
Um, Sound defense and offense that I need to see steps taken, aggressive steps. I need to see bigger splash because I know when it gets to the first round of the playoffs, we could be playing someone with that star power and that offensive spark that can get the ball in the end zone quicker than we can, and we can't let that happen. And then defensively, yeah, I'm just not. Basically, all I'm saying is I'm just not bought in all the way yet because Deshaun coming back was big. That was huge. Wait, this is his first game back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really speak on that, but of course, everything was clicking with him back. He's just one of those heart of the defense, heart of the team type guys. DG was saying that to me on the phone. We both pretty much agreeing. Um, you get JPJ back. JPJ back this week, I believe.
So we're healthy.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey might be out, but him and JPJ, in my opinion, are
Did they say that?
interchangeable. Jalen Ramsey, that little fake celebration thing, obviously was fake, but then he actually put the hammy.
I did see that. But
Which is
he
horrible.
came back into the game after that. That's why I'm asking.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
I heard that he was on IR, but I could be wrong.
No, okay, well I don't know, but I know he came back into the game after he actually hurt his hammy.
Not on, but I like it.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I'm more opportunistic with what I've seen than probably decade, like in terms of like what I think could happen in the future. Just because I think it looked better, and I know that the defense. I mean, the Vikings is no slouch, so I like what I seen. I'm not. I'm gonna hop into the Cleveland Browns game. I'm gonna start with for my take. What I expect us to do and what I expect the game to look like. You know, I think the Browns will keep it competitive. It I don't want as of recent it has been since post Big Ben it's been more competitive with the Browns mainly because we don't have that offensive threat to just go down there and score points. The Browns do have a good defense. I would compare their defense not to ours, but they could hang their hat on their defense through games,
For sure.
and rely on them to keep them in the game. And I think it will be similar. I think we will make enough plays in this game to stretch that lead. And I'm looking at I'm feeling like a 27-14 type of game.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Something around there. Just because I know the Browns, they're a tough competitor, but I do think us having Deshaun Elliott back, getting JPJ back, them losing Greg Newsome today to a trade to the Jaguars is also big news because that's who probably would have him or Denzel Ward, either one of them, both CB1s, honestly. Take one away, it's looking better for whoever's our number two is.
Calvin's injured too right now. Huh?
I think he's good. I think he's playing.
better.
Um, but
That's just the
yeah, no, I think we're moving in the right direction. I expect us to come out here and win this game. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're at home. I just don't expect us to lose to the Browns. It's going to be very hard for them to pull it off. I think Dylan Gabriel's going to have to play out of his mind. Um, Everything's going to have to go right for the Browns for them to win this game. So I don't anticipate us making a whole bunch of mistakes. That's one thing I'm starting to like with this team. We don't seem like we shoot ourselves in the foot as much. Like, yeah, we have possession where a penalty or hold a penalty or false start might mess up the drive, but we're getting into more of a rhythm and we're Aaron Rodgers getting the ball out. And if we have to protect him with extra tackles and tight ends, then so be it. That's what we have to do.
yeah.
For the time being until we get someone mobile enough or, or to where our line can catch up and get better. At this time, if this is what's needed, it's what's needed.
You gotta adjust
Yeah,
to your personnel, yeah. And both
exactly.
ways. If
And you
lack
got Miles Garrett out there, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar approach to the game as we did last week, honestly. Um, but when we run the ball like that, that's why I expect us to look like because that's when A Rod could cook. That's when you can't just pressure A Rod all game because you got a run game. That run game keeps the heat off you a little bit. Um, and A Rod gets the ball out fast too. I think people are when it comes to A Rod too. I think some people are quick to jump the gun on him being old of age and not mobile. But from what I've seen, honestly, I think he's been mobile enough. Like, yeah,
yeah.
he fumbled on that little scramble that he had, but he still people are acting like he's like how Big Ben was his last year or two. Like, nah, he couldn't even move. A Rod he still can move a little bit. And A Rod was never one to depend on his legs. He used his legs to get out the pocket and throw downfield. I still think we'll see a lot of that from A Rod over the course of this season.
He's
The
been
biggest thing for
consistent.
him is just how much hits is he taking each game. Even last
Yeah.
game, like he took some hits. I don't want to see free rushers just come in and kill A Rod.
Nah, it
It's not
can't.
going to last too long.
Yeah. No, he's been a light though. Like the whole time, I'm still really pleased with him. I mean, he looks like a 40-something-year-old Hall of Famer to me, which means, yeah, you're. We could tell you're a little older, but you're still
The arm talent
still
still
that
there.
guy. Yeah. So, but yeah, when you mix in that age, like what I just said, you gotta realize you have to have a very very good O line, and we don't have that. But like DG said, if we get extra tights in there, I don't know. Even in the run game, run some switches with like have Darnell at the wing and just have him run through to try to kill Miles Garrett. I don't know. Use your size against size, man. Use your strength against
Yeah.
strength.
I'm gonna give us a chance, man. I'm gonna give us a chance. I'm at that time. I'm gonna let Deck pretty much take the rest from here because I feel like I did touch on everything I wanted to this episode. But I want to put positive faith back into the Steelers, right? Because it's easy to look at all the wrong that's been going on, right? But I want to give this team in particular a chance because it's different a little bit. We got that veteran quarterback. We got the pieces. Like we got the pieces. You know what I mean? Even on defensive end, we still Joey Porter's coming back. Our defense should still look even better than it did last game with him coming back. Being able to put Ramsey back in his natural position. Like it's still so early in the season where if we had a tougher schedule and we had the schedule that the Ravens and the Chiefs had out the gate, which we do have to play majority of the teams that the Ravens lost to, right? But with our schedule being favorable like this, I think we could gain enough momentum to win two or three of those games that we lost last year at the end, right?
Hmm.
And that will put us in a completely different situation than what we were in last year, fighting for that last spot to be in a number maybe three seed, 2 seed. That's what I'm looking for. Can we put ourselves in good position? Because I think we're right. We are going to have to see those teams, and we are going to have to compete with those teams if we want to win a championship. That's obvious, right? So I just want to see us compete. That's all. I just want to see us compete, keep winning these games. For the most part, I don't care how we get it done. I don't care if it's close. I want it to look good. As long as we look good doing it, good enough to where we compete, then I'm fine with it. Because if we keep coming out with dubs, whether it's close games, blowouts, whatever the case, obviously we're doing something right. So
Yeah. Said good. I mean, we just need to keep making strides for me to come to the conclusion that we could win a playoff game at least. And as
no,
much as
Dak, say it now. We could win a playoff game.
as long as we say, yeah, I don't want to settle for it, but I do think we could. And as sad as it is, I will settle for it. I'm not saying that I wouldn't in the moment. As soon as we win that, get delusional and be like, we're winning next week
Yeah,
too.
I will.
Of course I will. But I'm more or less
I'm
mean. I
ready
can.
to get delusional though, bro. That's where I'm.
No, yeah, I'm ready too. But what takes to be delusional is, like I said, like a really good sound offense or a sound defense as well as like steps coming towards splash. Like I just want to see our best player get the ball, and I want to see stuff happen. The running game took a step towards being established this week, even without James Conner, which speaks to the offensive line as well. I'm not gonna sit here and act like they didn't do anything against, like I said,
Without
Brian
James
Flores.
Conner is crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
We ain't have
Sorry,
Brian
Jalen Warren. Yeah, my
Flores.
bad, my bad. It's getting a little late. But yeah, I mean, I just need to see more splash in the offense, and I need to see the defense continuing on their trajectory from last week. Just do your job, do your individual job, and we have the guys to do it. I mean, we got Jalen Ramsey; he's gonna do his damn job.
Yeah. Before
JPJ,
we end, we have to talk about Deshaun Elliott's impact
yeah. I mean,
because he got a pick. He had some PBUs, and he was in the right spots. Like, and he's just Deshaun Elliott. Bro. I said it before the season. I'm standing on it, even with him being out those couple of games, all pro.
yeah.
I believe he's
Him
all.
coming here was such a big deal for him
He's an all pro.
because he was not this guy everywhere.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was always the big hitter, right? But I feel
Yeah.
like now, maybe it's just our scheme, but
He's
he's
drinking
a
from the
ball hawk.
fountain of
He's
youth
a
or
ball hawk too.
something, too.
Yeah, he's a ball hawk on top of a guy that's going to come down and give you results. So
Yeah, what you said at the beginning of the year, I actually kind of like somewhat questioned when it was like, oh, Minka's gone. That's fine. We got Deshaun because it's like, no, because Minka's always in the right place, ball wise. He got so much ball skills. But yeah, Deshaun really is not just a in the box safety that gets downhill and hits you. He's definitely everything he can be, at least, even though he plays strong. So yeah, no, his impact was felt. He's my favorite player right now on the team as a whole, other than Herbig. I'm a defensive person, so offense can do what they need to do. Even when I play, or even when I played, that's crazy. Even when AB and Lev and them played, I was still like, oh, Shazier's my guy. So hopefully that's what DK and Aaron do is do some freaky stuff
shout out to
over there.
Peyton Wilson too. He had a good game last
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, I should.
And Pat Queen too. They both had good games.
Yeah, it's our linebackers as a whole. I was talking about how strong we are there, and they had me looking crazy for a little bit. But I do think last game, I mean, a guy like Peyton Wilson running a damn 4-3, tracking that guy down at the end of the game, you know, Peyton Wilson or Patrick Queen literally said he won us the game. Um, yeah, don't sleep on him. Don't give up on Peyton Wilson. He might have got 48,
I like the
48% of the reps, huh?
I said I think my bad. I keep
No, you're good.
I,
You're
I
good.
tend to do this a lot. But I think with Holcomb, that rotation with him and what's called it's probably not as much pressure on Payne Wilson to be like he kind of looked like ever since Holcomb got some more minutes, he got into his zone a little bit. And I'm liking it because I feel like Holcomb he brings some good things to the table too, right? Just
Yeah.
the intangibles, the experience. But
Mhm.
Payne Wilson, like when he gets in there, it's a clear difference. Like when he sees that ball, he's getting ball. He's jumping to tackle the blockers when they come to when the tackles come down on him. He's so fast that he easily beats those blocks. Right, that first block he's getting right past.
They're playing
That
situational ball with them personnel.
yeah
Yeah, they're adjusting their personnel to the situation going on in the game.
yeah.
And
Payne
another
Wilson will
thing,
be that guy eventually for us. Like
yeah,
down, even next year, 2 years down the line, he's going to be that guy that's like oh my God, like
yeah,
we lose him, our defense is screwed because he will grow into that role. But right now, kind of why I said the other episode was with a guy like that, you gotta let him be what he is, right? And he's a see ball, get ball, instinctual type of player with
mhm,
all the athleticism as well.
yeah.
You
He
gotta let
needs
him
to
be a
gain a
dog.
little
You gotta
weight
let him
too.
change the game. Yeah, let him
Needs to
change the
gain some
game.
weight, but yeah, I mean Peyton Wilson and Patrick Queen. There's not another duo at middle linebacker in the league that I'd like to see in a safe situation. We're down by however much, 4th and 20, down by 1 point, and Mahomes is back there about to throw.
I don't know about you, but that's the you know what I mean? What?
I don't know.
I'm talking about
those
two middle
no,
linebackers.
I agree. I
They're the
agree
best
in that
coverage
sense.
duo in there.
No doubt, no
All I'm
doubt.
getting
But
at.
I don't want to see the Steelers in any third and
No, of
longs
course.
or fourth and
No,
longs
no, it
because,
scares
bro,
me. But I'm
we give
saying,
those up more than I think
oh
teams
yeah,
give up third and ones and fourth and ones. No.
I more or less mean just
But I know what you're
linebacker.
saying. Yeah. As
That's good. That's
yeah,
two good guys to
100%,
have there.
100%.
And to speak to Deshaun's effect again, without Deshaun Elliott being there the last few weeks, it looked kind of grim in terms of communication. I think him being back this game is why we saw Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson know their assignments and be a little bit more well rounded because they've been there before, yes. But when you have the commander, which seems to be Deshaun Elliott there, you look back and you know exactly what you're doing. He's going to get everybody situated. So, um, yeah, he's not just infecting us with the energy in terms of physicality. He's infecting us with the mental stuff too. His football IQ is so high that other people around him seem to have a higher football IQ as well. Um, but yeah, shout out to Peyton Wilson. I almost forgot him, but he definitely, I think he made the biggest play of the game on that hustle play because that could have been a big deal. They would have just
For
cashed.
time, especially for time too, because we ended up taking them to a fourth and goal in that possession before they scored a
Yeah,
touchdown.
yeah.
So, I mean that
That's what I
that was
mean.
big.
Time
That was
management
big.
wise,
Yeah, I
they
mean,
would have just
if
doubted.
they had more
It
time
would've cost
at
them.
the end on that last drive, they had more. I think they only had what, not even barely a minute or something. If Payne Wilson doesn't make that play, they have approximately probably
It's really
a
a good
minute
chance
30,
they would.
at least a minute 30 more on the clock. So
That's a really good chance they want to take that.
yeah, so it's
Pending.
definitely we was only up by 3 in that moment, so it was definitely a good chance for them to definitely take us to overtime at the bare minimum. So shout out to Payne Wilson, shout out to our defense as a whole, Deshaun Elliott, shout out to who I want to say, another guy that we, I think he will make an impact with us eventually is Jabril Peppers too. I think
Yeah.
down the line, not crazy impact, but an impact enough to almost like how Beanie Bishop was last year. Like you'll see him make some splash plays. I think he already had a strip fumble against the Patriots,
Yeah.
first game with us. So he's another one of those type of players to look out for. But yeah,
He's good depth to have,
absolutely.
nonetheless.
That's all. That's all. That's all. All I have for this episode.
Nah, yeah, I mean, I'll just be positive week to week. I'm gonna start being more of a week to week guy. Um, yeah, go Steelers, obviously. We got a home game that's on our side. We got a rookie quarterback. Tomlin's record against rookie quarterbacks is pretty crazy, and his ability to beat them in this type of fashion, just giving them a bunch of chaos, is
Shout out to T.J. Watt.
is a thing. Yeah, hopefully TJ does his thing this game.
He will. He
Um,
gets extra motivated when he plays the Browns.
He does. I mean, he's a Steeler at heart. The AFC North rivalries be getting him hyped up. So, but yeah, man, we got
Gotta show Miles Garrett. We gotta show him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think to end it off here, I think they asked Juan Thornhill who he thinks is better between TJ and Miles Garrett since he's seen both. And as much as you think he has to answer TJ, he could just kind of like, plead the fifth. But he did say TJ is a better overall player, while giving credit, of course, to Miles Garrett because he is great. But yeah, all I'm saying is we got a home game at the crib, and we got a rookie quarterback we're playing against. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's keep building from where we're at, and yeah, go Steelers.
Yeah, shout out to bro.
You done?